I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monceaux, and this is Talking About Them Cougars, the podcast from GoCoogs.com, sponsored by Star Pizza and Ozempic. Brad Towns.
Really?
Obviously not the person on Ozempic. And the black guy. And me. Milos Uzan announces today he's coming back for his senior season, second year of U of H. Brad, Galen, thoughts?
Reggie.
That's good for Los, man. We live in a day and age where there's no pressure to go pro because, if nothing's guaranteed, you can go back to school and get paid. So, also he tested the draft waters, and whenever you leave that process and you go back to school, you have a certain level of confidence. And not only that is he knows what he needs to do to, have a chance at the next level. But it's going to be his team. They just came off of the runner-up in the national title game. So I expect Lowe's to be in a more comfortable position early, and he'll be able to aid guys like Kingston because been there, probably is going to know what he's experiencing. So I just think all around it's a great move for our program, and I think Milos made the right decision for himself.
Brad.
It's massive. It's think of how good he was for the conference season on, and that's what you get going forward because there's no more getting integrated into the program. It's no more trying to figure out how he fits or what he needs to do to fit within the system. He knows it. Now he just perfects it. And then now he also knows exactly what the NBA is going to be asking of him and looking for him in the next draft process. So, I mean, he's set to go. I think the biggest, obviously, it helps the entire team, but we've kind of reset the clock, and now we got that mentorship going on with the point guard again to bring along Kingston and Cordell. But it also frees up Harwell as well, and it also do what?
What do you mean it frees up Harwell?
Because now you have a seasoned point guard who's going to be able to get him the ball in positions he needs to be able to get the ball in.
Okay. All right.
So I'm excited. I'm excited of what this is going to look like. Just because you want to see more of what he's got, because I really believe that we're just kind of scratching the surface of what he can be over time.
That's fair. The media met with Kelvin this morning, and he had some things to say about Milos and his situation. Here's the first clip we're going to show you.
Saw him in Chicago and talked with him before he played. I think that was a Wednesday, and saw him, talked to him about some things that I thought he needed to be good at in those workouts. Those workouts mean a lot to those teams. But after that, probably didn't talk much at all. Text, I texted him and asked him, was he healthy? He sprained his thumb in one of the workouts. It was bothering him.
I did not know about the sprained thumb before Kelvin told us. Good news is he has 5 months to heal. So we'll see you November 3rd, Milos. And one more clip from Kelvin. This one's about a minute on the timeline and how things played out.
But I think he called me. It was either Friday or Saturday, and that's when he told me he was leaning toward coming back. I said, just make sure, talk to your parents, talk to your agent. If you feel like that's the best decision for you, then do it. If you feel like staying in the draft, and I think had he stayed in the draft, he would have got drafted. I talked to 3 or 4 teams that liked Milos a lot. But usually when kids go into draft, like Quentin, Marcus, that have a chance to come back, they're all looking for feedback. What is the feedback? And if I'm not going to be drafted high enough, what is it I need to work on? And so he went through the process, got his feedback, and then made a decision. I think it's pretty simple.
Any thoughts on that, guys?
I'd say that, like I said earlier, there's no pressure to go pro because you can make a lot of money in college. And, when teams kind of offer, being a second round guy, there's no real it's not something that you may be comfortable with doing, because all it takes is a pick from a foreign kid overseas in the first round that nobody's ever heard of, and now everybody's draft board looks different. So there's no real security, not the security that you'd want to make that big of a leap. So it's better to be safe than sorry. And it's like, odds are you're going to make 2 winning situations. You didn't lose.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you could see a draft pick traded in like the 23rd pick or something like that, and then all of a sudden everything just tumbles, and you go from possibly projected, some team said, we're going to take you at 35, we're going to give you a guarantee, to, oh shit, everything just changed. Sorry, dude, we'll pick you up as a free agent.
Man, and I've heard so many stories about guys getting drafted and guys who teams told them one thing and it didn't happen, and it's just like the organization, they're gonna be good. It's just that kid that they told this to that is gonna suffer. So it's like, I think he made the right decision. I think he's good, but I don't know if the teams probably thought highly enough of him for him to be a first round pick. I think if that was the feedback that he received, that he probably would have and should have stayed in the draft. But when you're offering guys mid to late 30s and 40s, it's just no security there, man. And it's wouldn't be a smart decision.
Yep. He'll do pretty well at U of H, and that's guaranteed money. And take the guaranteed money over the non-guaranteed money. Star Pizza.
Good people. Better pizza.
Get you some Star Pizza. Great people. They had the buffet today. Don't worry, you get it again Friday. Towns will probably have some. I might go have some. Towns, what is that hat you're wearing? That's all fancy looking.
Friends at Section 12X hooked it up. Pretty dang nice hat, man. And
that's
what makes
section12x.com.
Yes.
They've got 2 rope hats like that out right now. Subscribers, friends, we hope you check them out. 12x.com. I always said 12x. I always thought it was more like a shirt you were destined for.
No, it's
12X,
section 12X.
but it's
For
12X.
old-timey folks who've been around us for a while, they know what section 12X is. You step in there, you better knuckle up because it's coming. But now you get you some nice threads. But I'll tell you, the thing best about this dang hat is that everybody out there with a big, giant bucket head noggin like mine, these hats fit. This is it's a snapback hat. And normally those won't fit me. And they'll sit on top of my head like a little beanie without the propeller. But this one, man, this fits freaking great. And I've got 2 buttons left. So if you got a big giant head and have a hard time finding a hat, boom, there you go.
I want to say one more thing about Los.
Thank you.
I'd say, and I have a little story too, but I'd say at the combine, just you going through the combine and when it's your turn, everybody's watching you. Those are highly, it's easy to be nervous in those situations because every eye is judging and observing and they're critiquing you. So, and I think Los, he had a good amount of success during the shooting and all that stuff. And it's like when you've been working on those NBA threes to prepare for the combine, and it's like having that type of success will build your confidence going back to college because your range is you're comfortable shooting a little bit deeper threes than maybe beforehand. And it's just like even with the draft workouts consist of it's 6 people and it's 2 guards, 2 wings, and then 2 bigs. And every single eye in that environment is looking at you and trying to find what you don't do well. And it's like they said he had a couple of good workouts, and it's like to have success in those situations when you might know the people who are looking at you, that is a major confidence builder.
Galen, while we have you on the big screen here, show us that shirt.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Everyone.
Absolutely.
From onesubstantial.com. Go ahead, Brad.
And so when you say that boosts your confidence, is it also a factor of up until then you think you got what it takes to be in the NBA, and you go, then they tell you you do. It's just a matter. It's not a matter of if, it's when and where.
Yeah, it just kind of reaffirms you. It's kind of like I can say when I played AAU, it's the live period. So I remember Coach Sampson being right there. There's all these coaches, North Carolina, every school you can think of. And obviously you want to do well. And it's like when you have a good game, it's like I had a good game in front of all these coaches. Like they saw this. And it's just like it builds your confidence for the next game. Whereas if you didn't have a good game, it's like, the nerves may kick in a little bit. But when you perform well, when people are observing, let alone important people, it definitely boosts your confidence and it kind of reaffirms to you that like I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but let me tell you my draft workout story, if y'all care.
No,
so I remember my agent had called me. It was with the Spurs. My agent had called me and he said, "Gee, you got to work out with San Antonio tomorrow. Your flight leaves at like 6. Mind you, it's probably like 3:30 p.m. So I'm panicking. I'm scrambling. I call Big Fabe, Fabian White. Call Fabian. I was like, "Fabe, bro, take me to the airport. Like, rushing it. We was rushing like a mug. So we get there, go to the hotel. I mean, catch my flight, go to the hotel. The flight to San Antonio, which is crazy. But yeah, go to the hotel, sleep. Next morning, I wake up. The guy walks in and he says, "Is your name Galen or Jalen?" And mind you, the guy that I was matched up with, he was a kid. His name was Jalen Hands. He went to UCLA and he was like, I think he was a McDonald's All-American, one of those one and done kids. And the other guy that we had that was a lottery pick, his name was Goga Bitadze. He plays with the Orlando Magic now. So the guy asked me, he was like, "Is your name Galen?" I said, "Galen." And then after the workout, like I did really, really well. And they were like, "Galen, I don't even know if I can say this out loud, but fuck it. We don't want you to do this. We're gonna have this spot for you. You're gonna be able to travel with us for summer league, but you're not gonna be able to play." But whenever we were practicing, I was doing so well in the practice. And they offered me an Exhibit 10 contract, which allowed me to play in the summer league, and that's how my professional career got started. From a spur of the moment, no pun intended, workout with the Spurs. Yeah, man. True story.
Nice. Nice.
I did not know anything about what was his name, Goga.
Yeah, Goga Bitadze. He was. Yeah, he was. I think he was drafted like number 11, 10 or 11 to the Pacers. He's with the Orlando Magic now. But and they were the two highest. Both of those guys got drafted. The point guard, and I killed him. But the point guard and Goga Bitadze, yeah, they both got drafted. Obviously.
Okay, I am going to be audio only. My computer has crashed twice now. Are y'all even able to hear me?
No,
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I can hear you,
Okay.
but that crazy looking face. You mean to take your face off the screen, or
I can't even see his face. But yeah, man, I'm glad to have good old Lowe's back. I'm excited to see like how much he's grown into that role. Obviously, him having J1 and LJ next to him definitely eased the transition when you got guys who are that experienced and guys who've, won a lot in their college career. And now he's going to be able to continue the tradition to pass on to the next PG and then so on and so forth, man. So it's the rite of passage is back on the train tracks.
now? What do you think with him coming back? Obviously, that sent Pop Isaac plan in a different direction. He immediately jumped over to A&M. What do you think
Really?
about that? Yeah,
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that he would be a guy that I thought he was more of an off the ball type of guy. I wouldn't want him leading my offense, but I would certainly want him receiving the ball on the backside of an action.
Yeah, I thought that he would have
Hmm.
been a solid number 2.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, did it become a head count thing, or is he looking at the landscape and saying, "Oh, well, I've gone from being like a top priority with the ball to one further down," and I don't know.
Honestly, I'm not sure because he's a proven guy at the Division 1 level, let alone at the high Division 1 level. But him being a predominant ball handler, I don't know if that is his strength. Whereas, like, I don't know if A&M is going to allow him to do that off the rip. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
I don't know how. Like I said, didn't hear anything about what was communicated when they were recruiting him, but he's not a point guard. Just like LJ Crier, LJ, he wasn't really a point guard, but he got better. Especially this year, he took a major step with looking more comfortable handling the basketball and making decisions.
right.
Whereas that could have been something that was kind of similar to Pop, whereas like your first year you may not be handling that much, but as your second year, um, definitely can take that step. But I mean, hey, if the kid did what he thought was best for him, wish him the
Yeah.
best, but I didn't think that him and Los would be competing for. Nah, that. But,
When
hey man,
see
sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles.
he because when he went to Creighton already had a point guard, so he was playing off ball, and so I thought, from watching him at Tech, I was like, okay, I wasn't impressed with him as a point guard, but I was impressed with him as a scorer
Yeah,
and
the scorer for
a
sure.
scorer and a playmaker off
Rob
the
Gray-esque.
dribble.
Yeah,
Very, very much so. Yeah.
that's weird. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I see two things. You can't walk or you can't ignore that. There's probably a money thing there.
That too, as well as yeah.
But then if you don't have Milos, he's coming in, then he's taking some responsibility on the point guard and kind of then Kingston is sliding forward and Cordell are looking to run. a little bit more there.
Hmm.
But then with Milos coming back, that kind of puts him down in the pecking order, even one more in possibly his eyes. But then,
I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it put. I mean, I don't know, man. But I mean, hey, when you got if he thought it was a head count situation, as a program, that has to be a good feeling to have. We got depth, we got talent, we got all guys who can put the ball in the basket at every position. So that's a good problem. Whereas, there's been a couple years where been 6 or 7 deep and still was able to win, but it's like the guys they're exhausted. So I think our program is in a good spot. We're turning some guys. We got a lot more size on the wing, got a lot more size in the post. So I think we're good, man.
and we've got potential really, really, really good depth.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
see, with unfortunately, Pop. Well, I mean, it's just part of the game. It's part of the business. I mean, it's a business now. But the guys who are going to benefit the most of that is Mercy
yeah,
and Harwell and I mean every other guard,
yeah,
because
yeah.
all of a sudden that's
Just a
one
little
less
bit more, a
person.
little bit more piece of the pie.
That's
Yeah,
one less person they have to battle.
yeah,
And you're talking about a proven scorer.
yeah.
Now, if he was going to A&M and Buzz was still there, it's like, well, he just fills the Wade Taylor
Wade
role.
Taylor, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Bud, that's what I'm saying. Buzz was gone. Which coach? That was the coach from Sanford got the A&M job. Am I mistaken?
Yeah. Bucky
Bucky
McMillan is
McMillan.
his name.
Yeah, met him last year. Cool dude, man. Cool dude. Cool dude. But damn,
Uh,
what you think about that, Ryan? Pops dipping.
uh, it was the numbers thing. Number one, you had to uh,
I can hear.
Are you talking?
better.
Yeah, yeah. You repeat what you just said after numbers thing.
The House settlement has not been finalized. So you're still at 13 spots, right? You're not at 15 spots, which is what everybody expected to be at right now. So you're still in a weird numbers area with the guy from Sam Houston, with Milos coming back with 4 high school guys. So you've got to figure that out. But he Kelvin said it to us on the press call, is that he did the math and the math didn't work with shots, with time on the floor, and there's thoughts that there were players that did not like the idea of Pop. I don't know if that's true, but I will say that uh, this makes a lot more sense than Pop as a long-term play and also as a short term. Did y'all look at any comments?
No, go ahead.
Brad, why are you so old?
I always wonder that, but then again, as much as I hate it, I like it better than the alternative.
Yeah. That's the only one we had.
GG,
Pardon?
Ryan.
Any news on TBT?
Yeah, yeah, we're still looking for a couple more pieces, but to my knowledge, which is pretty good, we will have a squad this year.
You will.
Yeah, we need to raise some funds, so to cover travel and hotel stays, so we can make another run. But yeah, we'll have a team this year.
Nice. Any
Um,
link of the
and as I understand it, it won't be at TD or for TD Center.
Yeah, I think it'll be in if I'm not mistaken, Wichita. Wichita. So yeah. Unfortunate, but
Okay.
it is what it is.
Summer in Wichita. I've done that before.
No better place to be, man.
Got a couple of shopping malls, I'm sure.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
We're so thank. I've done that. Storms. They got the thunderstorms. Pounds that hat goes hard. Any hat where Brad says, yeah, it makes my head look small.
No, any hat
That
that I
hat's
say
doing
that it
work.
actually fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, I
Uh,
wear 7 5/8, and
Now,
sometimes 7 3/4, depending on when I am in the haircut cycle.
or the salt cycle, I would imagine.
True.
Uh, Sup, y'all. I'm also wearing the Beat Everyone t-shirt. Let's do it.
Nice.
Go Cougs. Thought Pop was going to be LJ's
Yeah.
replacement, but of course he wanted to be the PG.
As did I.
Yeah. What can you say?
Well, him wanting to be the point guard makes sense in a
Do you
move
think
from Creighton.
T would have? Okay. Do you think T would have stayed committed had Pop not committed? No. I
Nah.
think
Nah.
Terrence needed a fresh start. I think he needed
Yeah.
somewhere other than here. You think Terrence Arsenault left because of Pop Isaacs?
No, it
Am
was
I?
his
I just don't
decision was
think that's
made
true.
independent of that for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I just think he would
Galen?
have definitely needed a fresh start because his battle for playing time gets even tougher this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think me and that guy have the same
Yeah.
name.
Uh,
Just spelled a little differently, but
Galen looking fly, bro. And Towns, you too,
LOL.
man.
Yeah,
Thanks, Galen.
Ryan
Well,
coming
I
at
think
you
that
at
was when I wasn't on the
480.
screen. So
Ryan coming at you at 480p.
Nah, that's 360, brother. 240. Oh, 480p is crazy.
Got that old OG Nokia Nokia cell phone look.
That's a good one.
just looking for anything else. Galen, did you work out with Darius Garland pre-draft?
Absolutely nah. Mm-mm.
Okay. So a couple other things we wanted to hit on during this little time together. Kelvin mentioned that U of H would play a game at Toyota Center this year. Opponent has not been named. I thought that was pretty interesting. That's something we did not know. You found out the date of the Auburn game. It'll be November 16th, which will be 13 days into the season. It won't be 5 days into the season like this year was. This is better for a younger roster.
So it'll be game 3 then.
Or 4.
Yeah. It's okay.
No, I think it's great. It's also the off week for U of H football. So I will get to not miss anything.
Did Pettiford come out of the draft or is he still in?
I don't know, but he might have stayed. He was hooping.
That kid can play.
And he can hoop for sure. And he's young.
Kelvin, Brad, will you take that comment off the screen? My laptop is. I haven't had any issues with my technology for 2 months until we get to do this. Kelvin mentioned that they have a game in the Northeast scheduled for this season. It is a neutral site game. He specifically did not say non-conference. And so my thought at this point is that it could be a conference game. If you're thinking the Northeast, and Brett Yormark, you think New York City, Madison Square Garden. Could it be Kansas and Houston at MSG, replacing the game last year you should have played against Kansas in Mexico City? Um, we don't have 100% information on that right now. There will be a press conference tomorrow in, I want to say it's in Florida, for the Big 12 meetings. Kelvin and Bill Self will speak on that press conference. So will we get more information there? I'm not 100% sure, but that's where my brain is leading me to believe that this game fits in. But we'll see.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It definitely seems. Which part do you not think?
It's not that I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I don't want it to. If it's Kansas, I don't want to. I don't want a conference game because a conference game probably gets pulled from our pocket.
Yeah, I don't think conference games can't be played on neutral sites.
I don't like that idea at
Sure
all.
They can be played wherever you want.
It's just highly unlikely.
But you start to run out of games. If you're going to play 3 in Vegas, play 1 at Toyota Center, play 1 at Birmingham, that's 5 of your 13 non-conference games.
Sure.
So you have 7, 8 non-conference home games. That doesn't seem like very much. I'm with you that you don't want to take a game from the Big 12 schedule away from home, but it seems there's going to be a spot that may not make a ton of sense. We'll just see.
Yeah, I don't.
Armando
like
is correct. The Mexico City game would have been a non-conference game. My thought is this possibly could be a conference game, but it's just me. There's no.
Well, I mean, if
I
we
don't have
were
any
having
information on this.
if we were having to give up a conference game for Mexico City, I'd have been 100% against that too. I don't care where it is, other than either Fertitta or Fog Island. Especially for us, we need that game at our place if it's scheduled at our place. Now I know that there's probably going to be a time where we don't play home and home with Kansas in a season, just like we did with Iowa State. But if we've got it on the schedule, I don't want it to be taken and put it somewhere else.
Terrible idea. I'm just telling you, there is a game in the Northeast. We don't know what it is. It could be a non-conference game. My thought is
St. John's.
That would be something. But they don't consider MSG as a neutral site. They play a lot of their home games there. So
hey, you know what? Call it a home game for them.
A little wild. Yeah. Hey, Ryan, do you know anything in regards to U of H trying to not host the South Regional? So this is something we have talked about on our site for 7 years. There's virtually no money in this. I mean, like no money in this. So why put your name on that? It just limits you from where you can play a regional. And so there is talk about it. I don't think anything is final. It'll come about when it comes about. Starting five. What is your projected starting five? Brad?
Milos, JoJo,
E-Man,
E-Man.
Harwell,
That's three.
Um, no,
Harwell, CNAC.
I think we go with CNAC, and I think that third guard goes to Ramon Walker. At least start. I don't know. I just have a feeling he'll come out as the starter at the beginning, and then I have a feeling. I mean,
I don't know where the Sam Houston guy fits in.
Well, I mean, he fits right in his rotational center. I mean, unless JoJo has a huge turnaround in the offseason, he's going to have plenty of opportunity to play.
That's a big starting five.
But I hope we're able to get a lot of early rotation and get a lot of guys in there, seeing even more minutes, like guys getting in the mix early and not waiting till a game's in hand. I mean, even with our blowouts, guys getting more second half action. I'd like to see a more rotation to where the starters are getting mixed in with guys that are going to be backups, and
that's probably what they'll do early on. But damn, so that'd be the five. Then you got Mercy, Cordell, Kingston off the bench, Bryce Jackson,
Chase McCarty,
Chase McCarty. Damn,
McFarland.
I was talking about just the guards. This is damn.
Yeah. Well, and we're gonna have a good problem to have is that how do you get these guys minutes? And I think these guys are going to be set up to be able to compete for minutes, but also being able to get complementary minutes for each other and playing with different setups. And we saw it. We were fortunate last year that we were able to avoid an injury bug, but we definitely could have used a couple of fresh legs down the stretch last year, just to go ahead and pull a couple extra minutes.
That's my starting five.
So between Harwell and Walker are the only difference in ours.
Ryan? Is he frozen?
Either that or he fell asleep.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Man. We got some good problems to have, so shit.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be fascinating to see it kind of play out, because last year we thought the same thing coming into the season. We knew that we had good depth, and we didn't see, and that's the beauty of it, because Malik was going to be just a depth piece, and then all of a sudden he turns to be an integral part of what we were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see the process of, the certain guys having highs and lows, and then kind of what it settles into once conference season starts. And I think that's probably why they're talking about the non-conference home schedule this week. We are in the Big 12, shit. But I do think that is they're going to be heavily experimenting. Heavily experimenting.
When I think we're at a point right now that we're a really good program, I think, and everybody around the country recognizes that. I mean, we're going to run into what a lot of these schools run into is that tournaments are going to be tournaments and one-off off-site games that are sponsorship games, money games. We're going to be in demand for those things. We're not at that level, although we are definitely up here. We're not at that level of where, like with Duke or with Kansas, where they can say, we'll go do these, but we demand you do some of these at our place too. We're not there yet, but it's coming. You'd like to see some of these in the non-conference, but it's just a part of it.
It's good shit.
Welcome to playing at the top.
Man, facts.
Rules
are
are
different, brother. It's like, damn. So now it's like Pop. His decision don't look all that bad.
I mean, we're going in used to having to beg to get a dime. Now we have to turn it around, turn it away.
Man.
And now we got people complaining because we're taking too many dimes and not playing them at home. It's like, you know what? ESPN says, yeah, as much as we'd like you to have this at home, we'd prefer it being Toyota Center. And oh, by the way, here's a title sponsor to go along with it. So here's a couple extra bucks that you can help, do whatever you need to do with your program.
Funding.
And then of course, the Players Era Festival is players' money. So I see us being involved in that every chance we could possibly get.
Yeah, why not? So Ryan, who's your projected starting five?
Jawan.
Oh, fucking brother.
Jamal. Well, I'm having technology issues. Am I that far behind? I think you're going to have a freshman in it. I think it's Emmanuel and Milos and JoJo. You said Ramon, Brad?
Yeah.
Did you say Ramon, Galen?
I said Harwell.
Okay. Yeah.
CNAC. That kid is tall as hell.
So you have two freshmen, CNAC and Harwell.
Well, these guys are five-star guys.
But you're saying this is starting the season, not the end of the year. I know, but I mean, they're still. I feel like
when it's all when we're settled in, that will be the five. Okay. That may be different during when it's settled in, that'll once they grow through their once they get over their growing pains, that initial freshman growing pain, they'll figure it out.
Our guy Jamie Hollingsworth, our scout, says if it were me, it would be Milos, Mercy, Emmanuel, CNAC, and JoJo. I'm interested in that. We're going to see that lineup, I guarantee. I don't know if it's going to be a starting lineup. Yeah. Ryan, any tours lined up for the new football ops center similar to what y'all did around a year ago? No, it was just concrete a year ago. They are less than 2 months from occupying it. So I don't think they're going to waste time on us. We'll be there the day they occupy it. They'll certainly give us a tour around. And then I hope to do football post-game shows from that new facility if possible. We'll have to figure that out 100%. But I don't know. Back to basketball. Jarris started game one. Jarris had the body of a man.
Absolutely.
Cenac looks like a man, but I haven't seen him in person.
Nah, he looks like a kid. Jarris looked like he was in his grad year. He looked like Sion James from Duke. I don't know, like just ox, strong. There was nothing to like. He had to come in and lose some weight. It's like lose some torque. That was a big boy.
Now the thing is that these guys are not here yet, so they haven't had workout number 1 with Alan Bishop. They haven't had work day number 1 of eating like a college guy. Now, the programs are way more developed even than when you played, but in high schools, but you still got to figure it's going to be quite a bit different. But they will get in this weekend. They'll have a team meeting Sunday, and then first workout is Monday of next week.
Oh, yeah.
They'll start summer school at some point. I believe it's next week you start summer school. And they'll go 4 out of the 5 weeks. First session, 4 out of the 5 weeks. Second session, couple weeks off, and then work out in September. And then practice starts at the end of September. 2 exhibitions before the first game. Calvin said that they're having a lot of people call about those exhibitions. Much fewer people calling about actually playing a game.
Yeah.
Hey, can we do the stuff that doesn't count?
Yeah, can we do a pretend game?
How about those behind closed door scrimmages? Can we do some of those, please?
And I'm curious to see what they choose to do with that. If they continue to do that scrimmage or if they do 2 exhibition games, especially if they can figure out a way that those exhibition dollars go to the players.
I don't care where the money goes.
We'll have to see.
I want to see them do.
I don't either.
The behind scene, you know, that whole thing is bullshit. They need to sell this shit.
Okay, but it has also worked for this program. And
well, an exhibition game would work for this program.
You can do things, but you can do things behind closed doors you cannot do in the light of day. And I think Kelvin is a fan of that, but he's also someone that evolves with the times and does it as well as any 70-year-old you'll ever see.
But he's also been advocating wanting to play being able to play like during the summer too.
Well, he'll do it 11 months a year if you let him.
We need to find a way to do it then, man. Dude, college ball right now has an opportunity to really blow up because I think you're going to be able to keep more guys in the college game thanks to guys being able to make money.
Yeah.
And the NBA is just not an attractive product.
Man, don't even get me started on that. My goodness. That is terrible.
She's not
foul baiting. Watching the conference finals is like that is.
See, they've come up with a new term called foul baiting. That's just called fucking flopping. That's just flopping and diving.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to blame all the Euros for doing that crap because they did, and now it's everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess the path to an MVP is to just go ahead and flop all over the ground.
Yeah. No, it's watching. Yeah, even watching the game last night, guys just hitting the ground as hard as they can. Like it's. Yeah, I turned that off.
It's hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch.
So, my bad, man. My phone was about to die, so I had to go get the charger. SGA is the worst at that, man.
Thank you, Kenneth. Kenneth says, I have missed you guys. We have definitely missed you. I have not enjoyed traveling and playing golf, and this is where I should be. we're gonna try to do some things in the summer with basketball that we've not done before. We'll see if we can bring it to you on a pretty regular basis. Florida, a team we now despise. I don't know about despise. Brought back their entire front line. Okay.
Yeah,
I was sitting at Whataburger today for lunch, and there was a kid in high school or just out and had a terrible mustache and was wearing a Florida national championship shirt. And he was like 6'4". And I thought about trying to take him, but I knew I had to do this show. So I let him live.
You would have lost that one, brother.
You never know. There's a lot of anger in these eyes. It could have worked out for me. Maybe not. Today on our call, Kelvin said that Ramon is going to be very important to these new guys because he understands how things are done here. And I think Ramon is your silent MVP of the offseason if everything goes to plan. He is going to be a part of everything. The glue guy, like Jawan was, like Reggie was.
The impact goes beyond the stat sheet.
For sure.
The guy that's keeping up the morale, the guy that's giving guys energy whenever they might be feeling down, like that impact and that, that's a big responsibility to have, but it's not a responsibility that everybody can have. So that says volumes about Ramon and his character and how much he's learned and grown in our program. So yeah, every program, every winning program has a guy like that.
Mm-hmm. And he can pass those lessons on of doing it right next to the all-time greats here at U of H. And just for him to be able to keep up with that and to be here so long, I think that speaks all the words that need to be spoken. That you listen to this guy because he's been right there in the trenches with the dudes who've done what you wished you could do. That's why those guys didn't come here just to play basketball. They came here as a catalyst to the next level. I mean, Milos even talked about that. Him and his agent talked about that in the offseason. His parents talked about it in the offseason. Is that they came here to get better, to take that next step. That's why these guys are coming.
Thanks.
I don't think Milos is going to be as active in practice the first week or two in June. He just finished, with his NBA stuff, which started a week after the Final Four. And so he's had like 4 days of an off season. So I expect him to kind of slow it down for a little bit. He'll be ready when it matters.
Once you've been through it, they know that you're able to do it.
Kelvin said that he met with the staff today. Yeah, and I think this is going to be you saw him take massive steps his first year. But I think there's a potential for him to do it even the same or more going into this next season. He's not going to have to carry Jawan. And I think that'll be better for his game. He's got a couple of things he can work on that he can be better at.
Yeah,
go ahead, Brad.
We watched him last year and we talked about it. There's a few things that he does that have kind of bad habits that he does that he's got to get rid of. And he improves on that. I think he improves on that by just more experience, especially being in this type of program and this type of system. For instance, leaving the ground without the intention to either pass or shoot and kind of getting caught in between, or stopping short and getting caught in kind of no man's land and picking up his dribble outside the arc. He's did that a few times. But that in more time with JoJo, and just those two really dialing in the pick and roll, that's going to work wonders. CNAC is going to be huge off the pick and roll for him. The different pieces are it's going to be easier for him to pick that up because he's not catching everything through a fire hose. He's already gone through that. Now it's just little bitty small things, and then getting that full season, that full off season of not having to learn everything, but only learning, okay, how do these guys fit, as opposed to what time do I need to be every place? Okay, what are the real rules? Okay, these are the rules, but what are the real rules? Like whenever I say that if workout starts at 8, that really means that it starts at 7:30, which means I got to be there at 6 a.m. just to make sure I'm okay.
Oh man, good times.
Like I say, if you're on time, you're late.
Very much so.
I'm excited for Ramon this year. He's been through a lot and deserves his moment to be a stud. Go be great, Ramon. There you go.
I think outside of JoJo and
one more, I'm excited for the new assistant. Any interviews planned? How are y'all feeling about the new assistant? Excuse me. I haven't had any contact with him. Galen, have you?
Yeah, I met him.
I got to learn to say his last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met him when I went up there last week. First meeting seems cool. I mean, they wouldn't have got the job if they didn't think he was a quality guy. So, yeah, I mean, I think his first name is Mike. So it's, yeah, man, excited to see how he impacts our program.
Brad, anything from you?
No.
Okay. All right. So I think that's about all we have for today. All right.
You said something about the coaching staff having a meeting or something about that. You didn't get a chance to finish that thought.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
You said it was something earlier. You started about saying the coaching staff had a meeting, and then you didn't finish on what you said.
So they met today. They met today to start mapping out next week. The new guy I'm as interested in seeing how he fits in as I am with the freshman, at least early on, because they have not added an outsider really ever. And this guy is a genuine outsider. How does he fit in? Is he, Quantis had been here and had been such a known quantity for so many years. How does the new guy fit in? How does he handle every component of the culture and the way of life? It's kind of a different thing. I mean, he's moved around quite a bit. I'm fascinated to see it. I asked Kelvin in that presser this morning about the staff, about what did he try to get for them in his contract negotiations. Kelvin got a lot of money, but he said that he wanted to get market value for these guys, that it's his job to find out and to know what staffs in the conference are making, and he wanted market value. He didn't need to be the top guys, but wanted his staff to be in that top echelon of staffs in terms of pay. They achieved that.
Good.
And you did it with a new guy that we don't. Yes, absolutely. They've done their part. Kelvin absolutely deserved the money he got, but they went another step with the staff.
Well, and that's with basketball. I mean, it's not a okay, well, what do you need? Yeah, we'll go talk to somebody about it and see if you need it. It's like, okay, no, we're going to figure out how to get it done. Don't worry about it. I mean, I love that they were proactive.
Well, I think that's part. a new AD, a proactive AD who his coaches need and goes and gets it.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of ADs in the recent past that have sat on their hands like a catcher, just sitting there waiting to catch. Okay, what are y'all bringing us? Okay, yeah. That's not what Eddie's done. And I sound like a shill for him, but I think he's acted in such a different way than what we've seen that it's still kind of surprising to me. Okay. How about we do some final thoughts? And then Galen's got to go start selling for the shows in the fall. So we got to get him out of here. He's also probably going to do some training. Bradley, what are your thoughts?
Big day. Looking forward to what's next, man. Everything kicks off on June 2nd. I look forward to it. I look forward to following it all during the off season and seeing what comes out on Twitter and seeing what we come up with here on GoCoogs that y'all keep an eye out on.
Section12x.com for that sweet, enormous hat that fits Brad. Galen?
Same thing. Glad we got the starter, the thing that starts everything in Milos back in our program. Everything starts with him. He's our catalyst. So he should be able to just help all the new guys because we got a talented group, but we got a young group, and he, alongside with our other returners, they have a great responsibility on their hands. So I'm excited to see, the trends of the off season and how they flow into practice, and then the product that we get to witness whenever they step on the floor.
Okay. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I don't really have any final thoughts. I feel like I gave you everything I had. We'll be in the gym as soon as they'll let us. And we'll be back with football, I believe, July 20. But we're going to go a little underground for a couple of weeks. Thank y'all so much for everything y'all have done for us and allowed us to be a part of your families. GoCoogs.com. Still be some things coming out. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all again soon.